In the southwest of Spain you can find some of the most stunningly preserved ancient towns in the entire country, from its famous Roman monuments like the beautiful theatre or the impressive aqueducts, temples or rich villas, to a medieval Arab fortress overlooking the River Guadiana and the Roman Bridge. From its great museum to its beautiful countryside and surroundings. This is the town of Merida, where you can find one of Spain's hidden gems. In this video, we are going to take you with us to our favourite places after spending a week exploring the area. So here is our top things to do in Merida. First, we are going to go to the Temple of Diana. This stunning Roman temple was actually dedicated to the worship of the emperor, and it must have been one of the most popular places in the town in Roman times because it was built right in the centre of the forum. From what I could see, it is still a popular area filled with people and life. The temple was built in the 1st century, but then some aristocrat built his palace within it in the 1500s. Up the street you can visit some of the remains of the Roman Forum. Only a corner of it has been preserved, but it will give you an idea of the size of this place. From the Temple of Diana, we are going to walk towards the river. Here we can find the ancient Roman bridge that crosses the River Guadiana since the 1st century. It's unbelievable how it looks, and the people still use it to go from one side of the town to the other, although of course it has been repaired and remodeled throughout the centuries. Standing here and looking around offers a beautiful sight, because all of the area around the river is full of beautiful parks and green spaces, and on one end of the bridge we have this massive medieval fortress that once controlled the entry to the town. This fortress was actually built by the Arabs, who conquered Merida long after the Romans were gone, and it's called the Alcazaba. It's definitely worth to go inside, as it offers some spectacular views from the top of its walls into the river, the bridge and the town. There is also an underground cistern inside that you can visit. Make sure you don't miss it, because it's very cool to walk the tunnel down to where the water is. Apparently at the top of the cistern there used to be a mosque in the Middle Ages, but as you can see, nothing is left. Leaving the Alcazaba, and we are going to walk through the park all the way to one of the most impressive ruins you can visit in the town, the Aqueduct of the Miracles. This massive arcade was part of a longer aqueduct that brought water to the city, all the way from a reservoir 5 kilometers to the north. Today, it's surrounded by a beautiful park which makes for a very nice walk along the river Albarragas. The locals call it the Aqueduct of the Miracles because it's 2,000 years old, 25 meters high, and it's really impressive the way it still stands today. After the aqueducts, we are going to pay a visit to the Casa del Mitreo, the Mitreo house. This house from the 2nd century must have been home to someone important in the town. It may not look as spectacular as the bigger monuments, but it's really interesting. Here you can get a real feel of how people lived. The house had 3 courtyards and some really good mosaics. It had its own thermes, bedrooms for the winter and subterranean bedrooms for the summer. Walking around its ruins you can imagine how huge it must have been. Not far from the house there is also a Roman cemetery. Here you can see the remains of some ancient mausoleums and tombstones that are as old as 2,000 years. There is also an outdoor exhibition with tombstones from later eras, including one from the Islamic times. It's quite interesting, and that's right next to the Mitreo house, so make sure you don't miss it. To go to a must-see in the town, the National Museum of Roman Art. It's one of the best archaeological museums in Spain, and there's a lot of interesting material here. Sculptures, mosaics and different artifacts that were found in different excavations through the town and help us understand how life must have been in Emerita Augustus. The museum itself was built on top of more Roman ruins, surprise surprise, and you can visit them too in the crypt of the building. But Roman things aside, the museum is a beautiful building that deserves a visit in itself, and it's internationally recognised as an architectural masterpiece. If you have time to even see other things outside the town, then there are other places really close that are very cool to do also. One favourite is the Castle of Alange. The ruins of the castle are on top of a rocky hill next to a dam, and the views here are absolutely amazing. The castle is from the 8th century and there is not a lot left of it, but the tower is still standing. It's not so easy to reach. There is a little bit of a hike from the village to the castle, but it's absolutely worth it. We were able to fly the drone up here for a short time, and we really recommend that you bring a drone if you do have one. As you can see, it is absolutely spectacular. Finally, we come to what is definitely the best part of Merida, the Roman amphitheatre and theatre. They are next to each other as they were built simultaneously back in the 1st century BC. And we start with the amphitheatre. Here, 14,000 spectators would gather to see the gladiators fight. They would fight between themselves or against animals. Apparently the Romans may even had the central arena flooded so that they could have a small naval battle shows. Simply amazing. After the amphitheatre, we finally moved to the most iconic building of Merida, the Roman Theatre. This is the most beautiful monument of the town and one of the best preserved Roman theatres in the entire world. It's so well preserved it actually still used, and every summer there is a festival where classical plays are performed. 2,000 spectators can today come to watch a play, but in Roman times the number was actually 6,000. The acoustics are great. Romans of course didn't have microphones or speakers, but the semicircle shape of the place helped the performer's voice reach the public. That's it for our best things to do in Merida, Spain. I can see ourselves coming back here many more times in the future. Do let us know what is your favourite thing to see or do in Merida in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can stay up to date on our future travels. Bye for now.